excited. Okay.
Way too many to deal with.
No, that's okay. This is great. So this is your wedding day?
Uh-huh.
Beautiful.
Of my third marriage.
Your third marriage.
But that one lasted 33 years.
Wow. Congratulations.
Right.
You finally got it right. Oh, so this is you. You're in the blue.
Uh-huh.
Are these your family members?
Yes. Those are great nieces that just wanted their picture made with my bouquet. And my husband picked that ice blue.
I love
I had
it.
the dress made and he picked.
Was that his
material.
favorite color?
No. Green is his favorite color.
But he wanted you in ice blue.
He was a Marine and green was his favorite color.
Oh my goodness, these are awesome. So this is all your third wedding. Are these
Yes.
bigger ones?
Yeah.
Wow. Where do you want to start? I feel like we have the rodeo.
Well,
We've
I
got
was
your
born in
marriages.
Carrollton, Texas.
Great. Born in Carrollton, Texas.
I was the fifth child. My youngest sister was 11 years old when I was born.
Okay.
So I was like an only child.
Yeah.
And my brother, that was the cowboy, he was married when I was 3. And I idolized his wife. Because she was a tomboy too.
Yeah. There we go.
Anytime I could get out of school or be free, I would go up to the ranch and stay with him. Which he was usually gone to a rodeo, and she stayed home and took care
So it
of
would be kind of you and her. What was her name?
Frances. Frances Smith.
Amazing. Did you kind of grow up on a ranch, or how did he get into it?
Well, because he married her, and they got a ranch, I went and stayed with her.
Yeah.
And that was where I learned animals and livestock and ranching and anything there was to do about it.
Yeah, you'd figure it out.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, I mean, she knew it.
Yeah.
And she wanted to be a vet.
Oh.
And then they wouldn't let women go to veterinarian school.
Oh, okay.
So she got mad and went to home economics school.
She said, "I'll just apply all this to the animals."
But she took care of all the animals. Anybody that had problems with their animals and needed help.
Yeah.
Because nobody had money to call a vet.
Uh-huh.
They called us, the Smith girls. My maiden name's Smith.
Yeah.
And we went to take care of them.
Yeah.
And
So they got married when you were 3. So there must have been quite an age gap between you and Frances.
oh yeah,
Like 20 years or something like that?
yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother's 18 years older than I am.
Okay.
Well, he died recently,
sorry.
the last 3 years, and he was 92.
Oh my goodness.
My dad died at 95, my mom at 94, my brother at 92, my oldest sister at 92.
Wow.
Now, I had a brother between that sister and the other one. He passed away at about 48. He was diabetic. He lost both legs all the way up to here.
Wow.
But he didn't at one time. It was a little,
Yeah.
After he'd lost both legs and had 2 artificial limbs, he jitterbugged with the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders on the Jerry Lewis telethon.
What?
He jockeyed horses.
Really?
He would
After
not.
he lost his legs, he jockeyed horses and
He would go to the VA and push people around in wheelchairs, and he had 2 artificial legs.
He's like, "Don't worry about me. I'm good."
Oh, when his nubs would get sore
Uh-huh.
and he couldn't wear his legs, he'd get on one of those boards that people use that have no limbs, and he'd be going to town.
So he really didn't let that slow him down at all?
No.
Wow.
One day, my uncle took him to town, pushing him in a wheelchair, and he was pushing him fast,
Uh-huh.
and he fell out. And some friends of ours had a Western store there in town, and she saw it, and she got a real big belt and took it out there and put it around him for a safety belt.
Like tied it around the wheelchair and him?
Made him a seatbelt.
I guess that makes sense.
So
That's amazing.
I couldn't let this stop me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What a beautiful example of staying,
Yeah.
staying active and staying mobile. That's amazing.
Right.
So that was your older brother. So you had the rodeo brother, and then that brother.
He tried to be a jockey and couldn't make it. He was just a little bit too big.
Mm-hmm.
And when he first we found out he had diabetes. They were putting him in those sweat boxes they used to use a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And to help him lose a little extra weight.
Mm-hmm.
And he went into a diabetic coma.
Oh, no.
And he was off at San Angelo or somewhere, and they called Mom and told her he was in the hospital and that he was diabetic. And he had juvenile diabetes.
Oh, okay.
So he fought that all his life. Since he couldn't be a jockey, he went to Montana and worked on ranches.
Really?
And that was what he did until short. Well, when he got where he couldn't do that anymore, he dealt blackjack in those.
Like in a casino?
Well, Montana has those little, in the bars they had
Cool.
blackjack tables and stuff.
Okay.
I don't know if they still do, but they did when he was living.
Yeah.
And he died at about 48.
Okay.
He had come back home, and he ended up we had to put him in a nursing home because Mom couldn't lift him.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved back about that time. I managed Western stores for years, and I was in Corpus managing Western store, and Mom got ill, so I moved back.
Yeah.
And we had to transfer him to a nursing home over in Irving area, and it snowed that day, and I went to check on him, and he died right after I left that day. I fed him lunch, and I knew he was edge of going in a diabetic thing because I thought that was what it was, because I told him I loved him when I went to leave him. He looked at me like he couldn't believe it. And I thought, okay.
He's like, my tomboy sister saying she loves me.
And I mean, ever since I was a little kid, he would wait till Mama left for work, and he'd sneak in because he'd been out drinking and running around all night. And he knew he'd be going into a coma. He knew what Mama fussing at him. So he'd even hide in the flower bed. Somebody'd bring him home, and he'd hide till Mama left, and then he'd come in.
Yeah.
And I could remember a lot of mornings having to take my lunch money and run to town and get him orange juice, come back and fill it full of sugar.
Yeah.
And give it to him and wrestle him, to make him take it. Because when they're edge of a coma, they'll fight you like a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And you must have been really little when that was happening.
Well, I was pretty young, but I did it all my life.
Yeah. You were used to wrestling.
Yeah. But when I was taking my lunch money, I was pretty young.
Yeah.
Like 10 or 12.
Wow.
Something like that.
Just making sure he's okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I got my first car when I was 15. And I didn't have a license, but Mama didn't drive. The police in Carrollton all knew. I went to school with their kids, so they knew how old I was, but they never stopped me because they knew it was a family car.
Yeah.
And I didn't run around in it. I just went to school, took Mama to work in Dallas, came back, went to bed, because I worked there too. My daddy's cousin owned a great big grocery store in Dallas, and Mama worked in a restaurant inside of it, and I checked after school.
When did you start doing that?
I guess I was about 15.
Okay. So you're driving, taking care of your brother, working in the grocery store. There's a lot. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I'd go take Mom to work at 5, come back and lay back down. Mom would call me so I could get up and get ready for school.
Yeah.
And I'd go to school and get out of school. I would go to work and then drive Mom and I home at midnight.
So you probably weren't getting in trouble a lot because you probably didn't have the time to get into anything.
Well, we managed.
You figured out a way.
So one night I was at the sock hop, and the coach that chaperoned didn't show up that night. Well, we just went in and was dancing.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of kids from Dallas came in. That was at Valwood Parkway. Back then it was a separate entity. And they came over there, and they were going to kidnap me. And they picked me up and were carrying me to the car.
The teenagers from Dallas were going to kidnap you?
They were pretty rough teenagers. One of them recognized me. I didn't know them, but he said, that Smith girl. They dropped me like hotcake because my brothers had such a reputation with their brothers.
Okay.
That's how they knew me.
Wow.
I mean, I didn't know them, but they knew me.
Wow. And it protected you even when they weren't around.
That might have got me in trouble a couple of times.
I mean, you know.
Just a couple.
Just a couple. Just.
That was one, but another time in a bar, one of them kept bumping into me until he recognized me.
Until he realized who he was bumping into?
And then I ended up being the bouncer for that club for that night. And another one was in there.
You ended up being the bouncer?
I couldn't believe the bouncer had to leave or something. And, well, what I heard later was he left because some of that family was in there.
Okay.
And the old man and lady that owned the bar, I didn't know them. But evidently they knew me because they came over and asked me would I bounce until they could find somebody.
So your reputation and your family's reputation really preceded you.
Yeah, but I grew up on Harry Hines.
Uh-huh.
You know, my family were dancers.
Mm-hmm.
And used to, when I was little, they took their kids with them on Sundays. Sunday afternoon, families went.
Yeah, to go dance
Yeah,
together.
my grandpa taught me how to put your little foot in one of those clubs when I was a little bitty.
Wow. Was it like two-stepping kind of dancing?
Oh,
or?
put your little foot right here.
Okay.
You know that.
Yeah.
I don't even remember all of it, but
It
that
sounds
was
familiar.
that was what it was.
Okay.
You know.
Okay,
Yeah.
so your rodeo brother, you're saying he's in the Rodeo Hall of Fame?
Yes, 6 of them hitchhiked on the freight trains to New York.
Okay.
And my younger brother knew they were going, and they wouldn't let him go. He hitchhiked in cars,
Really?
beat them there. The one that lost his legs beat them there.
Had he already lost his legs at that point?
No.
Oh, okay.
He was just a kid.
Yeah.
My brother was 16, so that one was only about 13.
Maybe names. So what is
Dude,
Duke?
Dude,
Dude.
Vernon Dude Smith.
His middle name is Dude.
And that's what he went. My daddy's name was Dude.
Amazing. I don't think I've ever heard
He's a
someone named
junior.
Dude.
Vernon Dude.
Vernon
My daddy
Dude, so
was
that's-
born in Vernon, Texas.
Okay.
So that's where Vernon came from.
Vernon, and then Dude was the family name.
Dude was, I don't know where Grandpa got Dude, but Daddy's name's Vernon Dude Smith.
And then your brother was Vernon Dude
Dude
Smith
Smith.
the second? Or
Junior.
junior? And then what was your other brother's name?
Billy James.
Billy James.
But he changed his name to Billy Dude
Oh.
because everybody bragged on my brother.
So he's like, I'm a dude too. Okay.
That kind of thing. So,
Totally. So Billy beat Dude.
Billy James.
Billy James, who got there first.
And he had gotten a job with a woman that was equivalent to Annie Oakley
Okay.
show, you know, feeding the mules that she used in the
show?
Yeah, in the show. And he was sitting on a bale of hay, and he said, I'm a mule skinner. That's what he told my brother, oldest brother, Dude. I'm a mule skinner. Well, that was that rodeo. But when they were out rodeoing, if the cowboys got broke
Mm-hmm.
and didn't make enough money, they would pull together what they all had and find out who the local fast guy was.
Uh-huh.
And we had a news clipping where dude outrun a bronze medalist winner in Madison Square Garden.
Really?
Foot racing.
What? Like an Olympic bronze medal winner? Whoa. So he was a true rodeo cowboy on the road
Oh, yeah.
doing it.
All his life.
Amazing.
He owned some 18-wheelers,
Mm-hmm.
and did that as a side job from time to time, not always. He had the ranch. Francis ran it most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
He'd come in at like certain times of the year to do like crops and stuff.
Yeah.
But we helped with that too. And then on weekends, we'd go to the movies at the drive-in. We'd take an ice chest and some blankets and we'd put them in the back of the truck. And then we'd go by the hamburger joint and get hamburgers and go back into the movies. And we'd crawl up there to watch the movie in the back of the truck and eat our burgers. And everybody watched us instead of watching the movie. We was watching the movie and everybody's watching us because we was having too much fun.
You were the main event.
Yeah.
So you said you were married 3 times.
Yes, I married my son's daddy.
Okay.
And he was so jealous. He drove me crazy. And he finally cheated on me so I would leave him because we were separated together.
He's like, I'll just be done with this.
Yeah, because he was so jealous and I wasn't cheating.
You weren't giving him anything to be jealous of.
No, I didn't ever go anywhere.
Yeah.
We lived in Burnett, Texas.
Okay.
Everybody knew us.
Yeah.
I didn't go anywhere without him. If I did, I would get home and he'd tell me everybody I'd spoken to.
Huh.
Because people reported to him. That's how jealous he was.
Were you young when you married him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
17.
Wow, really young. And was he kind of around the same age? Okay.
A year older, I think.
Okay. So you had 1 son together, and
And that's all I had. I lost 5.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, when I was 40, they were trying to figure out what was my ailment. And they said, oh, we see you don't have any children. And I said, I do. Oh, no, you have a blood disease that won't allow you to have any. So I guess that's why I lost the 5.
Wow.
But I said, Lord had something else in mind because I have one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And I never regretted having him so young because I wouldn't have had any.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
But I think that was the main thing was just the jealousy because he would fuss until I'd finally leave. Yeah. Go home to mama.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't go anywhere. I just went home to mama.
Right.
And he'd beg me back. I'd go back and it'd be the same thing. So finally he told me, I'm going to cheat on you so you'll leave.
He told you this before it happened?
Because he knew I would.
Wow.
And
he didn't want to just leave without...
He didn't have the willpower. So he knew...
He needed you to do it.
Yeah.
It's a tough spot to put you in.
Oh, it wasn't hard.
I guess that's true. I guess that, in a sense, is making it easier on you.
Yeah, well, it was because of my personality.
Yeah.
But I didn't have to have him. I never felt like I had to. And my second husband, I swore I wasn't going to get married again. And I finally let him talk me into it. And that man cheated on me the whole time we was married. I knew he was, but I could not catch him. And I tried. Hard, I tried.
Yeah.
And his family members even came up and propositioned me. And I said, that's incest. And they said, we all do it. I said, you're not bringing me down to your level.
No. It was just normal in his family?
Evidently.
Whoa.
Evidently it was. I had heard that their daddy cheated, but I didn't know that meant they all did.
Yeah.
But evidently, that was the example he set.
Funny that he wanted to get married so bad.
I think he just needed to know that people wanted him. I really finally felt sorry for him because it was the way he was brought up.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to live with it.
Good for you. That's another very tough situation.
Right. And so then I sure enough wasn't going to get married again.
Then you're definitely not gonna.
And I met my husband, and he wasn't taking no for an answer for sure.
You're like, here we go again. These are beautiful photos.
You know, he's got that afro. He had been in the Marine Corps for 30 years. Then he went to work for the Sheriff's Department. And he found out he could go wild with his hair, and he just had to do it.
He's just like, I've had to have did he need to have like a buzz cut or something before?
High and tight.
High and tight. So then he could just let it go fully free?
Yeah, anything you wanted.
What is this picture?
That is my daddy's mom and daddy.
Wow. Is this one of your brothers?
That's my brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law.
That sister's husband that I said just passed away.
Okay.
And he was one of the best men.
Oh.
And my sisters were bridesmaids, and my husband's daughter was my maid of honor.
Oh, your husband's daughter was your maid of honor. That's so sweet. So you're a stepdaughter?
Yes.
Yeah. Is she one of these?
Yes, the little one by herself. That's a stepdaughter.
Wow.
And the other two are my sisters.
How old was she when you guys got married?
13.
Wow.
Well, she was probably 14 by the time we got married.
Yeah.
She was 13 when we met, and she moved in with us. And I wanted to wait until the youngest sister's birthday because she married on my birthday.
Okay.
When I was 5, she married on my birthday. And so he told me, no, I don't want to wait till August.
He was ready.
He didn't want to wait till August. I guess he thought I might change my mind. So we got married on Valentine's.
Oh, beautiful. What year?
In 87.
87. And you're married for 33 years. That's an accomplishment. That's in a long time.
And it was the best 33. We did everything. We went to Arizona on vacation. My 2 sisters and their husbands. My mama and me and my husband. That's how we went on vacations. And we went to Arizona, and we ran into the Hopi Indians having a corn dance.
Oh.
And we thought it was a garage sale. We saw all these people over at Tuba City, Arizona.
Okay.
And we went over to see what it was, and it was this corn dance.
Wow.
And they told us we could stay and watch it if we didn't film it, and if we didn't follow them. They were up in the upper mesa, and that's where they live in housings, government housings and stuff. But the traditional Indian lived down in the lower mesa, and that's where they said don't follow them.
Oh, okay.
And I met a Hopi Indian and Navajo Indian on that trip. And I decided, after seeing a rug in the trading post for $6,000 and found out that they'd only given the Indian woman $30 for it.
Oh.
I decided I wanted to buy direct from the Indians.
Yeah.
And open a store and sell it so they would benefit.
Wow.
Well, my husband, whatever you want. We had to borrow money for part of it. And my sister and her husband, the younger one, joined in with us. And we went back up there. And we went to buying. And we were in the motel next to the trading post buying. And the trading post found out we were paying fair price. And they told the girls that worked at the trading post, at the motel, tell us that we couldn't have the Indians into our room anymore for safety reasons.
Oh.
they couldn't just come into our room and for us to purchase.
Right. And you're like, no, we'll find somewhere else to meet.
The girls said, hey, the photographer was here last week and the doors were propped open for him to come, everybody to come in and get their pictures made. I said, okay. We had borrowed a trailer to take up there, and it happened to be a concession stand trailer.
Oh.
That a friend had it. We went out by the Gap trading post, and before we could get the windows open on that trailer to start buying, there was a line of people out there waiting on us.
Really?
I swear they're still using smoke signals because there was a line out there by the time we got out there.
Of people looking to buy...
Looking to sell to us.
Looking to sell to you instead of the trading post so that they could make a better living wage. Wow.
So we bought out there. Then the Hopi Indian talked his mother into letting us come to her house in the Lower Mesa.
Wow.
And if you go down there by yourself, you won't see anyone. It's like a ghost town.
Okay.
Because we went down there.
Yeah.
And she said, I'll let them in, but I won't be here. I've got to go get Clay. That was her way of saying she wasn't going to have anything to do with us white people. And we went to her house, and I was buying. And after I bought a little while, more and more people kept coming and coming and coming. And in a little while, they started saying, you come to our house. After I got through buying, we went from house to house with the ones that wanted to go in their house.
Was it all rugs or like jewelry and other kind of stuff too?
Oh, it was everything.
Wow.
It was kachinas, it was rugs, it was pottery, paintings.
Yeah.
It was anything they did.
So they were really warming up to you as you were staying down there.
Oh, yeah. When they saw how fair we were.
Yeah.
And my brother-in-law sat back and let me do all the bidding. But after they saw that, one of the houses that we went into was Cecil Kalaniptawa. And all of his kachinas are in museums. So he gave me a card and he said, I'm a moccasin maker. Rather than make lesser quality than what he once had made and downgrade his work, he didn't carve anymore. He made moccasins.
Wow.
He just needed something to do. The man's wealthy. I said all his kachinas are in museums.
Yeah.
You pick up a book on kachinas and you'll find Cecil Kalaniptawa's name in it.
Wow, I will. I'll go look. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's how prominent he is. But the ones that live traditional, they might have a car and have a phone in the car, but they don't have a phone in their house or no electricity, no running water.
Okay.
Those are the cleanest houses you ever saw. They're made out of clay.
Yeah.
They have dirt floors, but they're spotless.
Wow. So no one else was really buying, other than the trading post, who weren't paying well. You were kind of the only one that was...
Well, a scattered person here or there buying one or two things, you know.
Right.
But to buy all that they were bringing.
Yeah, all that volume.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, well, I met the woman that sold the rug. I got invited into a rec center that they got for the Indians there at Tigray Hills.
Okay.
I think that's the name of it. Tigray Hills.
Okay.
It's where the rec center was. And we got invited in there when we were buying out of the trailer.
Yeah.
And we went over there, and that lady appeared. Well, she didn't speak English. She had a granddaughter with her, and she came in with the rug. And I said, well, what do you want? $500. I said, okay. She almost fainted. She did not expect to get it.
Do you think she was trying to start high and then barter down lower? Wow. And you just said no?
I wasn't going to barter with her.
Yeah.
She'd been bartered enough. Because that was my whole purpose.
Yeah.
Of doing it, was I wanted the Indians to get a fair shake.
Yeah.
And that.
So you would go to Arizona, buy everything, load it up in the trailer, and then would you go sell it?
Well, I had a store.
Oh, okay.
We opened a store there next to the Amato Hotel.
In like, what year was all of that happening?
That
The
would be in
80s?
late 80s, because I started at the sheriff's department in 91, I think.
You worked at the sheriff's department? We have so much to talk about.
Well, when I had the store, my husband was a deputy for Dallas County.
Mm-hmm.
And he worked in the jail, in what they call the old jail, downtown, there where Kennedy was killed.
Mm. The school book depository kind of area?
Yeah, it's across the street.
Mm-hmm.
And he was working there. Well, his captain and another guy, I think a lieutenant, were in my store, and they were kind of behind a door looking at prints.
Mm-hmm.
And a guy came in, and he was trying to sell me pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew they were hot. Just the way he was acting, I knew they were hot.
Like stolen? Oh, okay. I'm just catching up.
and I said, I'm not buying. And he tried to get pushy.
Mm-hmm.
And I got him out of the store. Mm-hmm. Not politely.
Yeah.
And they were behind there. And so when I got him out of the store, they pushed the door to. He never saw them.
Mm-hmm.
They pushed the door to and said, you're going to work the sheriff's department.
Just because of how you handled him? Wow.
And I at the Western stores, I was getting robbed all the time.
What?
And
like people just would come in and, like while you were there or at night?
No, while I was there. Well, both. Both.
Oh my God.
But in Houston, it was the worst. I got robbed them up. Well, no.
Did you have a store in Houston as well?
Well, I managed stores for other people.
Oh, okay.
I got robbed one place at the other store that Justin had in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And they sent me over there to see if that store was worth keeping open because they were losing so much money over there. Well, 3 people came in, a woman and 2 men. And the guy that was working there when I went over said, I'm going to lunch. And he went to the back room and closed the door. Well, I realized that they were shoplifting, and I kept trying to call him out.
The employees were shoplifting?
No, the 3 people that came in.
Oh, I see, sorry.
And I kept trying to call him out of the back room, and he pretended not to hear me. So I went over to behind the register, and my desk was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I opened the door because my gun was in it and stood there. And the guys kept trying to get me to come over to the counter so they could get a hold of me.
Yeah.
Because they were going to rob me too. But I wouldn't leave the register. And the woman come running up there. I cut myself. She was cutting the security tags off the boots and sticking them under her clothes. And I forgot. And I ran out where she was at, and I said, set your ass down there and get my boots out of your clothes. And she said, okay. And it dawned on me what I'd done. And it dawned on them too at the same time. So I darted back over to my desk and pulled the gun out. And I said, I'm going to shoot your asses. And the woman had got the boots out by that time. And her and the one man darted out the door.
Uh-huh.
And the big guy just stood there and looked at me. Well, I was only had a small caliber gun.
Yeah.
So I think he thought he was big enough
that
it wouldn't penetrate. So he just stood there and I said, I was going to shoot you. And he didn't move. And I said, I told you I was going to shoot your ass if you don't get out of it. He finally just kind of sidestepped out. I thought I'd never get him out of there.
You've really had to stand down a lot of characters.
Yeah. No.
So then you had the Western stores you were managing, then you opened your own store, and then you went to the sheriff's department? Is that the right order? What did you do at the sheriff's department?
I was a detention officer.
Okay.
I think I was 42 when I went through the academy.
So you're just starting over a whole new career.
And there was all those college guys and guys that just got out of the service. going through the academy at the same time.
Probably like your son's age.
And then they said, "Oh, Miss Thornton, your husband's going to present you with your diploma." Well, they only recognized the top 5 places. And I was not going to humiliate my husband. I had to come, and so I had to fight to get that 5th position.
Yeah.
And my best friend in the academy, she and I were like this, 4th and
just neck and neck.
5th and 6th, 5th and 6th, 5th and 6th.
Like, I need it.
Well, I got the 5th place on that last physical exam. I mean, just about the hair on my teeth. But I got the 5th place.
So then your husband was able to give you the...
Well, he would have given me my diploma anyhow, but it had been just, over here.
You wanted to be the star.
Well, no, I just didn't want to embarrass him by saying, well, my wife graduated today too. I came to give her a diploma.
Yeah. That's fair. Was it fun to work with him?
Well, I told him the only reason he wanted me over there so I'd do the work and he could sit in the office and eat peanuts. That's all he did. If we couldn't handle it, they would come and talk to a tank.
How long were you at the sheriff's department?
Only about 3 years.
Okay. So then after that, were you fully retired or did you? Okay.
Yeah.
And you said you were married to your husband for 33 years? What an accomplishment.
Yeah. After all that, he was raised in Rockport, and we moved to Rockport. And while I had the store, a lady came in one day and she asked me, did I paint those paintings? I said, no. I said, I can't draw stick people. And she said, oh, Barbara Barlow Carpenter can teach you to paint. Well, I didn't know what I was getting into. She finally stood there and talked me into it, convinced me that this lady could teach me to do something. Well, I thought, color by number or, what.
Why not?
I get over there and she's an artist. And I painted a ship. I never painted anything in my life. And I went back for the next session.
Yeah.
And the next and the next. And
were you getting hooked on it?
Yeah, I was enjoying it.
Yeah.
And my husband, he loved for me to have projects. He said, makes my personality better. He liked keeping me busy because I can't be still.
Yeah, I can't sit still. I love that. I feel that. I'm better when I'm busier. He sounds like a really special guy.
He was. He was. All my kids, none of them are blood, but they idolized Grandpa.
Yeah.
Today, you say something to them, what will Grandpa do? They would tell you.
Yeah.
Well, what would Grandpa do?
And they just know.
Or this is what Grandpa would do.
Yeah.
Yep. They all idolize him.
What did you like the most about him?
The fact that I could always count on him. If I wanted to go get in trouble, or I wanted to go have fun.
He was right there for me.
He was right there with me.
I love that.
Yep.
That's amazing. So you lived in Rockport, and then how did you get back up here to Longview?
Well, my husband kept getting pneumonia.
Oh, okay.
And they told us we needed to move. And my son had married a girl from here.
Okay.
Or from Big Sandy. And so they kept saying, move up here, move up here, move.
Yeah.
So we moved up here. We bought land out at Latch. And we bought some acreage out there. And he loved it. We had cows. We had pigs. We had chickens. And a bunch. And I'd buy bottle calves and feed them. And he would milk cows. And we'd take the milk to church on Sunday. We'd take it ice down in an ice chest. And after church, we'd pull over in the shade tree. People would drive through 1 gallon, 2 gallons, half gallon.
So you had a little business.
No, we didn't sell it.
Oh, they're just taking it.
Yeah, we gave it away. And we had a big garden, and we'd just take the vegetables up there and put them in the foyer. And the announcement would say, okay, the vegetables in the foyer, just get what you want.
I love it.
And
What a community.
we had the best time.
Nice.
And I made him move from out there and move into Gilmer because he would not stop trying to do too much.
Mm.
You know, we had 17 acres, and he would try to keep the whole thing like a yard.
He's mowing 17
He loved
acres.
grass. He didn't care about my flower beds and stuff, but he loved grass. He was, when he did, immaculate.
Crazy.
Am I using up my
That's
time?
tough. No, you're good. I don't care. We're good. I'm having fun talking to you. So then there was too much going on, and so you moved more into town after that?
Yeah, to get him to slow down. He didn't last too long after we moved in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
About 3 years.
Yeah, it's not long at all.
No, I felt like a hill. He started piling up papers around where he sat in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
I kept saying, Hal, you got a big, nice desk. He had a big roll top desk out in his office. I said, babe, why are you keeping these papers in here?
Yeah.
Okay, every time, you know. And finally, one day he got a little hungry. He said, I need to be able to see him. Oh, and by the way, he had quit letting me go to the doctor with him.
Mm.
And I thought it was because I had to have a walker and everything at that time.
Okay.
And it was harder on him, loading things and stuff. So I thought that's what it was. So he just kept saying, you don't need to go. He's telling me it was too hard on me. Well, it was because he didn't want me to know how bad he was. He never told me. And he got a paper from the VA that said they took full responsibility for his illness, that he died of Agent Orange.
Ah.
Now, how often does the VA give you a paper admitting to full liability?
100%. Wow. Huh.
I think it ate his kidneys up.
Yeah.
I didn't make them do an autopsy on him. They didn't feel the need to, I guess, because of his paperwork. I didn't want to know, but I felt like I knew.
Yeah.
But the day he passed, the night before, he couldn't breathe, and he wouldn't let me call the ambulance. And I had an old oxygen machine that I had to use at one point, and they didn't pick it up because I guess it got paid for while they were renting it. And I made him use that. The next morning, he got up and he said, call him. I called them. The ambulance came and they looked at me when they got him loaded up, and they said, you can't go with him and you can't come and see him. COVID.
Oh.
They took him over there to Good Shepherd, to that place next to Good Shepherd. He stayed over there about, I don't know. I was out of it, just out of it. He died May 20th, and COVID had just started, so about 3 weeks, I think.
Like 2020? Yeah. Yeah, so COVID was brand new.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they just started telling people you can't go and you can't.
So you weren't able to see him again?
I was not able to. Well, they kept calling me wanting me to sign do not resuscitate. And I wouldn't do it. I just knew he was going to come home.
Yeah.
And they kept calling me, and I wouldn't do it. And my granddaughter and I took turns calling him, checking on him.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't hear him, and he couldn't hear us because they had to turn the oxygen machine up so high that the sound was so loud.
Yeah.
We couldn't hear each other. And
like even if they tried to give him the phone, it wasn't.
Oh yeah, they did give it to him.
Yeah.
And we couldn't hear him and he couldn't hear us because of his oxygen.
Yeah.
And so finally the nurse called me and she said, okay, you can come over here this time just you. And she told me where to come and everything.
Yeah.
And she said, I'll come and get you. So we started up to the door, and my son was with me. He took me, and because I can't drive. Oh, I didn't tell you. But I can't drive, but I'll tell you about that. And so he took me over there, and we were walking towards the door, and man hollered, you can't come up here. And I said, I was told to come.
Yeah.
And I told him who I was. And he said, you can come, but he can't come. And my son could only come so many feet up to the front door.
Yeah. And
the nurse came down and got me, took me up there, and I could see him just for a minute. Kelsey's out there.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Hi! She's so great.
Yeah, I love her. And so I went in there, and he looked at me and he said, why not? He meant, why not sign it?
Oh, the DNR.
He wanted me to sign it.
He was ready to go.
So I signed it. And he just lasted days. I don't know how many times they'd had to resuscitate him. I didn't want to know.
Yeah.
I felt guilty about it.
I mean, I don't think you need to feel like that. What a tough spot for you. And of course you wanted him and thought he would come home, you know, of course.
He just had to come home, but he didn't.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. But I'm just happy for the 33 years I had.
Yeah.
It was quite a ride.
What a wonderful 33 years.
Yeah.
Sounds like a wonderful, wonderful marriage. Definitely got it right.
Mama just took these snapshots. That's me in the gown and me in the sofa suit.
Is it, you're 15 in these?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
This started youngest.
These are amazing. And this is you as a baby?
Yeah.
Wow. Did they call you Kaye when you were a little kid, or
Oh, yeah.
Diana?
I had some great aunts that called me Diane and Diana.
Is this you and your dad?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. These are amazing photos. What a treasure trove. Such a cute baby.
Thank you. I think I was going to a school prom or something, and I was trying all the dresses to see which one.
Of course. You look great. Oh, my goodness. These are amazing.